Hi guys, in this video we're going to learn how to convert fractions to decimals. Okay, so let's jump in with an example as is our style. 2 over 3. This is often read 2/3, 2 over 3, or 2 divided by 3. So as I like to write it, it's important to know that this is equal to 2 divided by 3. And if we know this, we know from way back in elementary school that 2 divided by 3 is written also as in this form, right? This is the classical way that we learn to divide numbers. But one thing's tricky here. Look, this number, the divisor, is larger than the number under the division sign. Okay? So this is a little trick, and here we're going to learn how to deal with that. Okay? So 3 divided by 2. We're going to write it bigger. Now 3 doesn't go into 2 any amount of times, right? So we have to do something here, and the thing that we do is, let me write this line clear. The thing we do is we introduce a decimal point right here after the 2. And we also take that decimal point up directly above. Now, lining things up is really important here. Okay? So I want you to keep everything in line. Okay? So you bring that decimal point straight up. And then, right after the decimal point, you add a 0. Okay? And now, you look at this problem fresh. You say 3 divided by 20. You look at this like 20. And you say, how many times does 3 go into 20? Well, 3 goes into 20, can go into 20 6 times, and the 6 goes right there, right? You're lining it up. If you put it above the 2, that meant 3 goes into 2 6 times, and obviously that doesn't. But 3 does go into 20 6 times. Now, 6 times 3 is 18. You're lining everything up. Now 20 minus 18 is 2. Okay? Now 3, then we work on 3 going into 2. Now 3, again, we have the same problem. 3 doesn't go into 2. So what we need to do is add another 0. We bring that 0 down, and then we ask ourselves, 3 goes into 20 how many times? Well, 3 goes into 20 6 times again. So 6 times 3, again, is 18. At this point, you just keep bringing down a 0 and then asking yourself, how many times does 3 go into this new number? And it happens to be 6 again, 18, and on and on and on. And you'll see that this will repeat itself. So this is equal to on and on and on, or what we do in math is we draw a line over the 6's. It's enough to write 2 or 3 of the 6's, and then you draw a line over it. And what this line means, this line simply means that the 6's are this pattern will continue forever, infinitely. Okay? So let's do another example. How about 3 divided by 4? Well, we can write this as 3 divided by 4, and then this in the classical way. Now, 4 doesn't go into 3, so we need to introduce the decimal point. We write that decimal point again directly above. Draw a little arrow here to remind you. Directly above, and we add a 0. Okay? Now, 4 goes into 30 how many times? Well, 4 goes into 30 7 times, and we make sure to put that 7 after the decimal point. Okay? Because 4 doesn't go into 3. That would be over here. But 4 goes into 30, so you write the 7 over here. 7 times 4 is 28. 30 minus 28 is 2. You bring down another 0, and then you ask yourself, how many times does 4 go into this new number, which is 20? Well, 4 goes into 20 exactly, cleanly, 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0, and we're done. Our answer is a crisp and clean 0.75. Now you can write this 0 before the decimal place, like over here, or you can omit it, but especially in the beginning it's good to remember to write that 0, okay? But it's not that important. You'll oftentimes, don't be startled if you see the same things written like this. This is equal to this, okay? Or if you see this written as just 0.75. These things are equivalent, okay? So what did we learn today? We learned that 2/3 is equal to 0.66 repeating, which is also written 0.66 repeating, and we also learned that 3/4 is equal to 0.75, which is also written 0.75. Okay, so it's important to know how to do these problems, and it's also important to know how the different forms in which they're written. But basically what we learned here is really important. We learned how to convert fractions into decimals. Okay, so be sure to subscribe to this channel to see all the other great math videos and all the other fraction videos. If you weren't comfortable with this video, there's a bunch of introductory videos on fractions, and if this was too easy for you, there's more difficult problems and tutorials in algebra, and soon we're going to move on to calculus. So if this seems like fun to you and you're able to follow along, I encourage you to continue going forward and use this resource. Make sure to subscribe so you get all new videos as soon as they're released without having to search for them, and stay on course. Have a great day.